Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in the LEGO Legend of Zelda Custom Set Showcase Wave 3, where today we'll be taking a look at yet another Legend of Zelda custom set, with this one being Z0046 with 259 pieces from Ocarina of Time. We have Escape from Lon Lon Ranch, and we actually have a lot of characters in this one for a 25 £30 set, so without further ado, let's go and take a look at all of those iconic and nostalgic details. So next to our box over here, which has a really lovely coloured background, I have to say, we have Escape from the Ranch for ages 8 and up with 259 pieces retailing for 25 Great British pounds, containing 4 minifigures and 3 animal builds with quite a lot going on here. So let's read that description and get straight into it. So 0046. Save Epona from the clutches of Ingo in the new Legend of Zelda playset. Escape from the ranch and search for the hidden heart piece and golden skull tula while feeding the animals and making the famous Lon Lon milk. Or maybe jump hurdles, learn a Epona song, or rearrange or combine multiple sets to complete the ranch. So that sort of hints that this is another set which can be combined with multiple copies. However, we have a lot to look at today and a lot of different elements, so let's get straight into it. And if we open up our box, we find 3 numbered bags and an instruction manual. And opening that instruction manual, we would find bag 1, which gives us our Malon and Adult Link minifigures, as well as a Pona, some wooden fences and some hurdles. Bag 2 would give us Talon, a cow, and the Ocarina Stone Tower thing. I really don't know what that thing's called. And then in bag 3, we would get Ingo's horse, the 2 stone fences, the gate of the ranch, and the little hay shed as well. So, with the model all built up, you can see that it is all built out of modular sections, and that includes, well, what you can see on the screen, and these can be rearranged in any order. But let's take a look at each section individually. First up, we have these 3 wooden fences, which use the picket fence design in brown, as well as some small pillars with the truncated pyramid on the top. You have some different coloured flowers with the medium blue, coral, and bright orange like flower tops. The blue ones, I guess, could always be silent princesses, but it's always nice to get colourful flowers and leaves, and I think they add a lot to a build without taking up many pieces. We also have these 2 stone fences, which are a little bit taller, still using the truncated pyramid and the other fence design to represent that little iron bar one, and this is like the one you jump over when you save Epona from the ranch. You'll notice that all of these segments have a bar connection at the end, which allows them all to be rearranged and clipped together in different options. It just added for a bit more maneuverability than using the normal hinge plates. And then we also have this little weed piece using this plant stem in olive green. And if you connected all 5 of your walls just together in a straight line, you'd get a pretty long lineup. Obviously, they work better when interspersed with the buildings, but I just think it's nice to see them all together. Next up, we have the 2 simple hurdle jumps, and these were sort of inspired by the Minecraft horse stables thing. However, they're basically my own design. You can see that they're built off 2x6 plates with some jumpers, and they have a 1x6 tan plate going along the top at 2 different heights for some hurdles. We're using some dark brown pillars, and you've also got some different foliage elements along the floor just to add a little bit of decoration. But then more about the playability, and obviously your horses could jump over them and such. But next up, we also have another section for playability, and that is the little hay shed, which can be connected to obviously fences on either side, as you can see here. If we take a closer look at the shed, you may notice we have some tan profile bricks to represent hay, a little container which has some straw, wheat and stuff in which you could feed to your horses and stuff, and then behind we have the golden skull tula. Now you find golden skull tulas all across the Ocarina of Time map, and I thought it was a nice little nod to recolor the spider piece here in gold so that you could hit it or collect it or do whatever you like with it. Adds a bit of extra detail to the set, and that is just attached to one of these bar elements stuck inside a hollow stud, and your roof is slanted with some decoration on the top. Next up, we have the gate segment, which can also be attached to walls. And if we look here, we have a 2x6 tile at the top with the title of Lon Lon Ranch written in Hylian along that print. And then we have 2 stickered elements, which would be these 2 round sign pieces which reside on the gate. And these are a minifigure version of like the little Ingo self-portrait that he puts on the gates to the ranch when he locks you in. So it would be fun just to do it with minifigure heads instead. And obviously, these gates can indeed open inwards, not outwards, but only inwards, using some normal hinged bricks, and it's a nice and simple build. Next up, we have the biggest build of the set, which is I'm going to call it a water tower. I know it's not, but I don't really know what it is. If anyone can let me know in the comments, I'd be appreciated. And for such a simple build, we're actually hiding quite a lot of secrets in here. But first, this one's a bit special in how it can attach. You may notice the little specialized hinge pieces on the side, and the reason I had to include these is because of those 1x6 dark bluish grey tiles, because they get in the way if you try and clip modules together just next to the thing. So you have this positional where you can have the two walls close by to the tower, you can spread them backwards, or you can have them fully extended to just sort of mess with your like hinge layout. It gives you some more options, which I think is a really nice touch. Next up, you may have noticed this little modified plate sticking out of the front of the tower, and obviously this segment can be removed and pulled out. And when we look inside, you can see that there is the secret heart piece, which I mentioned earlier, which uses the heart piece in red, which is an existing recolor, which I was surprised to learn. And I think that's a nice touch. It just gives you something else to do in the set. And there's also one other secret, and you can see here that you can actually lift off the top of the tower, and inside the bottom of the tower, we have some little elements, including some more hay for the cows, as well as 3 bottles of printed Lon Lon milk, which have a little cow label on it around transparent cylinders, and they have the stamp piece in the top upside down to represent little lids. And just as one final thing to look at before we take a look at the figures in this set, you can see here I've tried to recreate Link and Epona jumping the fence on their escape here. You've also got a lot more playability options, but I'll get to those in just a second. Such as the animals. The animals add a lot of playability. You can obviously play jump the horses, so you can train Epona like you do as Child Link, where you jump over the fences and such. And obviously we already have a Child Link from Ocarina of Time minifigure from Wave 1, Goma's Nest, so you could use that figure here. You also have the opportunity to race both Ingo and Epona, as well as Ingo's tools allow you to sort of play feed the horses, as well as all of that hay and carrot stems and stuff will feed all of the animals. So I think you've got a load of options here, and there's actually another Lon Lon animal coming in a future set this wave, so I wonder if you can guess what animal is going to complete our ranch setup when we finish this wave off. Taking a quick look at the minifigures, first up here we have Adult Link from Ocarina of Time, who is based around the same design as my Twilight Princess Link. He is using my same hat piece mold from Wave 1, recolored in bright green this time. The same shield from the Twilight Princess Link, the same sword as the Twilight Princess Link. I really need to allocate some mold budget towards Master Sword soon. Some dual molded legs with the bright green printing at the top, and the modified torso print in bright green as well. And you can see that compared to his reference imagery, he's as close as he can when you think about Lego's like rules with mold budgeting and stuff. Like there's no way they'd make a different hairpiece for Link every single time. Next up, we have Adult Malon from OOT, and she is using the newer dress piece in a pinkish lavender color with some basic printing on it. She has some printing on her arms, no dual molded, with those short sleeves, as well as her Bowser neckerchief printed on instead of using the scarf piece. She's using the normal sort of long braided back hair piece in that new darkish orangey color from the Lego Mario line, and she has a very simple face print on the light flesh toned skin. Next up, we have Worker Ingo, and I know some of you are going to point out some very big inconsistencies between the minifigures this time around. Why do we have Adult Link, Adult Malon, Adult Talon, but only have Worker Ingo from the child timeline? And that is simply because, you know, Lego, you know their inaccuracies, they're never going to get it right first time, so it really doesn't matter. This is the version I wanted to do. So this is the version you get. I promise I will do the other versions of all 3 of them at some point soon. But for now, we're stuck here with this Ingo who has the pitchfork and this milk bucket using a white handle, just like in the reference imagery. And while his clothes may look white over on the right, they're actually a pink when you look at the concept art. He's got his rounded belly printed on, as well as using the moustache piece recolored in brown. He's got a fairly angry expression, and he's using the balding hairpiece, as I like to call it. Next up, we have Alan, who is the last minifigure here, and I actually had to really debate about what skin tone to use and what colours to use, as most of his concept art differs. I chose to give him a bit more of a tan look, so we went down 1 skin tone from the lightest, and I gave him some very simple dual molded red arms, some leg printing with those little patch squares. Printed on beard, I was going to use the hair piece they used for Bodhi Rook in Star Wars, but I decided that would be too much hair for him, so I left him bold. He's got a slightly puzzled facial expression as well as all of that facial hair. Next up, we have a Epona figure who is slightly different from the one I did in Wave 2, where this one is the dark orange color from the Mario line, and that is because the Ocarina of Time Epona is slightly that color. Is the very simple white mane printing and the muzzle printing again, as well as the simple eyes and just a plain medium nougat saddle. Before we go further, we have Ingo's horse, who is a simple brown horse with a dark brown mane, or is that black? And he has a dark red saddle on, just like this one picture of Ingo's horse that exists. There's really not that much reference on him, but a really simple horse for a very minor character. And finally, we have the infamous cow from Ocarina of Time, and this is obviously just a simple Lego cow piece. I don't believe they would recolor it. I don't believe they do anything special with it. I think they just shove the cow in the set to represent those cows which you can milk with Epona's song in Ocarina of Time. And before we take one final look at the set today, I have to show you what it looked like if you bought two of the sets. Now, obviously, I've chose to leave out some elements here, such as the second gate and second water tower, but all of the extra fences and the two little hay sheds, as well as the two extra hurdles have been added, and you can actually create a full version of that little interior ranch pen if you want. And I think this is really cute. It feels very Lego-y to me, which is always what I look for in these custom sets, and it does feel complete. And I'm always really proud when I see a set which I could imagine being on a shelf. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but it does definitely has that Lego vibe to me, which is always what I look for. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at the Lon Lon Ranch custom set for today. Let me know what you guys thought of it down below, any improvements, whether the Ingo figure bugged you, as well as what you think about it. Just tell me how this ranks. Is this your favorite, least favorite, more Ocarina of Time representation? Let me know. We've got some more Ocarina of Time stuff coming up, but for next week, we're back to our seemingly series duple 2-for-1 video where we're looking at both Z0042 and Z0043 in the same video with 127 and 105 pieces respectively. And again, this should be incredibly obvious what they are. So let me know if you do know what they are. I'm pretty sure you do. Let me know if you're excited for them. I mean, you've seen the other two back in Wave 2, and it'd be great to see them all together. So, yeah, look forward to that, I guess. In the meantime, consider subscribing if you like what I do here, or if you're excited for next week, because you won't want to miss it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.